Welcome to the Resilient Back and Pelvic Challenge that we are filming in southern Spain. We're gonna get started focusing on some of the key foundations. So this class will set everything up for the rest of the challenge. Our breath and our posture are gonna be really important throughout the challenge, and then exactly what you're feeling while you're doing the exercises. So the slightest adjustment with your breath, the slightest adjustment with your posture can make the world of difference. So if you happen to have a couple of pillows or blankets, a yoga block, let's go ahead and get started. Come on down to your back. And we're gonna start off with our breath. So it can be easier sometimes to feel your breath and pelvic floor connection when you're laying down. If you find putting a pillow behind the back of your head and shoulders to feel that breath, you can do that as well. We're gonna place the hands at the bottom of our rib cage and think of expanding that rib cage out to the sides, the front, the back like a balloon. It doesn't have to be a real big breath. And as we're doing that, the diaphragm is descending down to the pelvic floor, lengthening the pelvic floor. As we exhale, the pelvic floor comes back up as the diaphragm comes back up. So we're inhaling, pelvic floor goes down, lengthening. Exhale, pelvic floor lifts with that diaphragm. So just take a couple moments checking in on your breathing. I know it's not the most exciting thing to practice and work on your breathing, but this makes such a difference with what we're feeling with the core and pelvic floor that will help with our backs and our pelvis. Nice, gentle breaths in and out. And if you're not feeling that connection, go ahead and grab that pillow. Stick it behind your shoulders and your head. I promise it's not cheating. It's just putting your pelvic floor at a little bit more of an advantage, getting that rib cage over your pelvis so that the diaphragm can descend down. And just take a couple more breaths here, and we'll continue to keep adding on. Now, a lot of times I see got clients that come to me and they've been told I have to engage my core and keep my belly button to spine and hold my core tight the entire time to help protect my back. But when we squeeze and grip and hold the abs tight all of the time, this diaphragm isn't able to descend. It creates a lot of pressure in our pelvic floor, creating more tension and more tightness. So this is why the breath is so important, and we don't just want to squeeze and keep everything super tight. Good, let's take one more breath in here. Exhale, slowly let it go. Good, let's move those feet so they are about mat distance apart. And I want you to start with the right leg and just think of rotating that right leg in towards the middle. And then lift that leg back up. Left leg is gonna rotate in towards the middle, and check and see what you're feeling. What do you notice? And bring that back up. We're working on hip rotation, especially that inward one, and it's really important for our back and our pelvis as well. One of the pelvic floor muscles connects into this deep hip rotator muscle. And continue with the gentle breaths moving in and moving out. So if you're having a hard time feeling that connection with your breath and pelvic floor, it's okay. Throughout this challenge, we're gonna keep working on all the different connections into this system so that you can better feel it. Sometimes our rib cage is too tight. Sometimes our hips are too tight. Sometimes we need to focus on strengthening our glutes, our feet. So many different things go into the core and pelvic floor. And that's what we'll be working on to help with our backs and our pelvis. Good. One more time, each side here. Now the next time that right leg comes down, I'm going to take your left leg, put that left leg on top. And you're just going to do little pulses. So that left knee ankle comes to your right knee. Right shoulder stays down on the mat. You can keep your hands at the bottom of your rib cage to just help give yourself some feedback with that breath. Nice breath in, nice breath out. For 3, 2, last 1. Pull yourself, come back up. Now that left knee comes in, we'll take the right ankle to the outside of the left knee. And the same thing here, little pulses, little bounces, moving down. Breathe out to the sides, front, back of that rib cage. I'm just starting to put together some pieces. Do you notice tightness in the low back, tightness in the hips? Does one hip rotate inward further than the other side? Nice, gentle breath in and out. For 3, 2, last 1. Pull everything back up. We're going to lengthen out through those legs. Take a nice big breath. Sweep those arms all the way up overhead. Maybe you wiggle your hips left and right. And then slowly bring those arms back down by your side. Now we're going to roll onto our side and come all the way up. Find a comfortable seated position. We're going to bring the legs straight out in front. A little wider than hip distance. Stay lifted through your chest and lifted through the tailbone. We're going to bring the legs over towards the left hand side. Think of rooting down through those sit bones. If you need to put a block or pillow underneath your hips, you can. We're going to bring our hands in towards heart center and gently twist over towards the left hand side. Think of lifting that tailbone as you hinge, float forward. You can also place your hands down on the ground. Inhale, pull yourself, come back up. Arms come out to the side and we'll twist over towards the right. Bring it back to center. Hinge, fold forward over those thighs. Inhale, come back up. Arms come out, gentle twist. We're focusing, send that breath down. Twist to the left. Hinge forward. Inhale, come back up. Twist to the right. Inhale. This time we're going to hinge forward. Hands come down towards the ground. You can also prop your hands up on a block if that's more comfortable. And I want you to think of rounding out through that back. Nice breath in. And think of sending your breath down to the low back. And as we keep thinking of the breath, it's this balloon that expands out all different directions, but it's not a big forceful breath where you're feeling pressure pushing down. It's gentle. And as we continue to work on these different areas, you'll be able to feel that expansion more and the lengthening of the pelvic floor. Good. One more breath in here. Exhale, let it go. Good. We're going to keep spinning over towards the right hand side. Bring that block with you if you'd like. Set those legs up so that right foot is in line with your left thigh. Ooh, a little stiffer on this side. You just continue to keep noticing those different things as we go on. All right, so press those sit bones down towards the ground. Nice gentle breath in. Exhale, let it go. Hands come towards heart center. Twist over towards the right hand side. Bring it back to center. Arms come out. Twist to the left. And it doesn't have to be very far. Hands come back to center. Twist to the right. Hinge, fold forward. Stay lifted through that tailbone. Pull yourself, come back up. Gentle breaths in. Gentle breaths out. Being able to feel how our pelvis is moving, how our hips are moving throughout this challenge is going to be really important. A lot of times our spine likes to move as a unit because we've been sitting behind our desks, carrying little ones around, and it gets really stiff and tight. If we're stressed, it gets stiff and tight. This time we're going to hinge forward, twist over towards the right, place those hands down on the block. Gently round out, gentle cat stretch. Feel the shoulder blades move apart. Breathe into that low back. So with that tension and tightness, we want to be able to feel each part of our spine move segmentally. So our neck, our mid back, our low back, our pelvis, and then how those all play together. Good. Let's take one more breath in here. Rounding out through that back. Pressing those hands away from you. Nice. Then let's come up onto those hands and knees. And we're going to move the knees a little wider apart and sink those hips coming back into child's pose. You can have your forearms up on a block, round it out. If you want to take a pillow and just scoot that pillow underneath and grab hold of the pillow and round forward, you can. Sometimes this helps so that you can feel the low back moving, the bottom of the rib cage moving. Nice breaths in, nice breaths out. So find that child's pose position that feels best for you. You can also just gently shift your hips from the left and to the right. Really feel that breath expanding down into the low back bottom part of your ribcage sit bones. We'll take one more breath in here. And then gently pull yourself, come all the way back up. Now we're gonna take that right leg and scooch your right leg out in front. Think of that right knee sinking forward, hands come down to the block, the hands can come down towards the ground. And I want you to think of taking this right leg, we're gonna rotate the right leg out towards the side and then back in towards the middle. Rotate that leg out and back in. So we're coming to the outside edge of the foot, inside edge of the foot, rocking in and rocking out. As we're inhaling, those legs stretching out opposite directions, breath going all the way down to the pelvic floor. Nice work for 3, 2, last one. And then we're gonna have that right foot come flat down towards the ground. We're gonna press, whether into the ground or on that block, round everything out, come into a cat. Feel the shoulder blades move apart, tuck that tailbone underneath, and don't grip your toes. I totally caught myself gripping my toes, okay. And then we're gonna lift your tailbone, sink your chest, think of pulling yourself forward. So just some really exaggerated cat and cow movements, checking in. Can you feel the tailbone lift? Can you feel the tailbone tuck? Can you feel the mid-back round? Can you feel it sink? Can you pull that chin towards your chest? Good. Inhale, lengthen, pull yourself forward. We're gonna do one more on this side. Nice job. Slowly start to straighten out through that left leg. You're gonna pull your, just kidding, it's your right leg. Pull your right leg back. Right hip sinks back. That sit bone sinking, expanding, coming back behind. Lower that chest down towards the ground. Nice, gentle breath in. We're gonna take the right leg and rotate the right leg in and rotate that right leg out. Rotate the leg in and rotating it out. And as you're moving the leg in, check in what's happening behind the back of the thigh. Nice job. Keep thinking those sit bones going back behind. And see, as we're moving through, can you start to feel the connection with the breath and pelvic floor a little differently? Which exercise made that difference? Was it when we opened up the hips? Working on the back of the hamstrings? Is it thinking of that expansion coming down to the low back, the rib cage? Good, one more breath in here. And you'll pull yourself, come up. We're gonna spin to face the side of your mat and just kind of readjust, scoot that right leg out towards the side. Hands come down to the ground or a block. Gently rocking, sink those hips back. And then pull yourself forward. Sink those hips back, looking for a gentle stretch in the inner thigh. As we're breathing in, same thing, send the breath down to that low back sit bone. Gentle breaths in and out. A lot of times with pelvic pain or back pain, these inner thighs, these adductor muscles can be really tight. Combination of tightness and weakness, so it's really important to be doing both of them. The other thing which we'll explore later on too is the ability for those glutes to contract and activate and feel your glutes. If we can't truly lengthen the glutes, we're not going to be able to strengthen. These inner thighs can kick on and help out instead. Good. One more breath. Now we're going to hold back here. Press into your left hand. You're going to take that right arm, spin your right arm open towards the sky, and then sweep it underneath the left. Peel your chest, lift it open. Reach, come underneath. Good, one more time, spin that chest open, and then bring it back down. We're gonna slowly walk those hands back over towards the right-hand side. Scoot your right leg back, and we're gonna come down onto our right forearm, onto that side. Your knees can be in a little bit. We're gonna breathe out to the sides, front, back of that rib cage. Nice breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to think of taking the left side of your rib cage, press that up towards the sky. As you're exhaling, blowing out candles. Inhale, drop that rib cage down. Exhale, press, lift the hips. Inhale, drop it down. So you should start to feel the pelvic floor, lower core, some obliques. You don't want to see any pushing pressure, bulging out, coming down. It's that gentle lift coming up. Now, if this feels really good and you want to add on, you can exhale, press, lift those hips up, and then drop it back down. Exhale, press, lift up, and back down. Adding even more, maybe you take a pillow, a block, something in between those knees. Exhale, squeeze, press and lift. Inhale, drop it back down. And see which one you feel the core the most with. And again, it's not gripping and squeezing and holding tight the entire time. It's checking in with what you're feeling while you're doing the exercises. Nice work. We've got 3, 2, last 1. Lower back down. Let's spin over towards the left-hand side. Coming down onto that left forearm. Think of that right side of your rib cage pressing up towards the sky and dropping down. As we exhale, we press, lift up, blow out those candles. Inhale, drop it back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, drop it down. Nice job. If you want to add the block for the little squeeze. And back down. We're pressing into the left forearm so you're not sinking down into the shoulder. Adding on more if you wanted to. You could press, lift the hips up, a little squeeze, and bring it back down. Press and lift, and drop it back down. Just seeing if there's differences in what you feel from side to side. Keep using that breath. Nice job. For 3, 2, last 1. Lower everything back down. We're going to come back to the front of that mat. And let's go ahead and take your left leg this time. Sink that left leg out in front. We're going to bring the hands down towards the ground or come down towards your block. Left foot starts off flat, and then we're going to rotate to that outer edge, and then rotate the foot back in towards the middle. Rotate that leg out and bring it back in. Staying with your breath in, breaths out. How is this hip moving compared to that right side? Nice work for 3, 2, last 1. So So we're gonna have the left foot flat. Still think on the inhale, those legs lengthening opposite direction. We're gonna press into the block or the ground, round everything out. Tuck your tailbone round through the mid-back, pull your chin towards your chest. And then inhale, pull yourself, come forward, open through that back. Nice. Round everything out. Tuck that tailbone. Pull yourself, come forward. One more time. Round everything out, tuck that tailbone. Pull your chin towards your chest. And then bring yourself, come forward, open up. We're gonna slowly start to straighten out through that left leg. Pull your left leg back towards you. Think of that sit bone reaching back behind. And if you have to be up higher, that's perfectly okay. And then we're gonna rotate the left leg out and in. Noticing the back of your thigh. Gentle breaths in, gentle breaths out. One more breath on this side. And then we're gonna spin to face the side of your mat. I'm just gonna turn and keep facing you. Left leg is out, maybe you readjust, and we're gonna sink those sit bones back till you feel that stretch on the inner thigh. And then pull yourself forward. Sink those hips back, and pull yourself, come forward. We're breathing into that low back, sit bones. Good. Next time we come back, you're gonna hold it there. Take that left arm, spin your left arm open towards the sky, and then reach the left arm underneath. Inhale, peel that chest, lift up. Reach that left arm underneath. Lifting, come up. And then sweep, rotate underneath. Nice job. Pull yourself, come back up. And we're gonna make our way coming down onto our back. I want you to take those legs and bring your legs out towards the side. I'm just gonna show you what we're gonna be working on. So that ability of our pelvis to be able to rock back and forth. And we're gonna feel the activation of our pelvic floor and our core. So on your inhale, I want you to think of lifting the tailbone, having a little arch in the back. And then we're gonna exhale, think of tucking. But when we're tucking, you don't wanna feel this pressing, pushing out, bulging down. Inhale, little arch. Exhale. Inhale, little arch. And you also don't want the upper body moving a whole lot. So a little tip forward and a little tuck. The goal isn't to jam your back down against the ground. You might have heard that in a lot of classes. You want to be able to move your pelvis in and out, the breath going down and coming back up. You can also try the same thing with those knees bent and seeing if that's a little easier. We're exhaling when we're tucking underneath, like we're blowing out candles. And you can also take the pillow and place that underneath your head and shoulders. And sometimes that elevates our pelvis up over our rib cage so we can feel that connection a little better. I promise it's not cheating when you're doing core work. So see which one feels better. Knees bent, knees straight. So really connecting in with that breath. And maybe you go in and out of the knees bent and knees straight. You might notice that it shakes a little bit, doesn't feel nice and smooth, and that's okay. We're going to continue to work on those. As we're inhaling, breathing out to the sides, front, back of the rib cage. Exhale, blowing out those candles. Nice. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Nice. Now we're going to go ahead and take our pillows and place those underneath our hips. You might want to place a couple underneath or just one. We're going to bring those knees in towards our chest. Keep thinking of pulling those knees in and just gently rock from side to side with those legs elevated. We'll rest the arms down by your side and we're going to bring those knees together. And then on the inhale, you're going to think of bringing your knees out towards the side. Exhale, bring them back in. Bring those knees out. And the knees should be super effortlessly just hanging out there. So it might be helpful if you do put 2 up. It just gives you a little bit more elevation. Bring those knees in. Bringing out and back in. Bringing out and in. Inhale, going out. We're sending the breath down to those sit bones. Next time the legs come out, we're going to take the right leg, cross the right leg on top of the left. Now you can grab behind the back of the knees, or you can grab those ankles or those shins, pull them in, take a nice gentle breath in. Exhale, let it go. Slowly letting go, bring those legs back out. Right leg comes back on top. Find that position again where it feels comfortable. Gentle breaths in and out here. Noticing the outer hips. Woo. Slowly let go, bring those legs back out. All right, last one on this side. And we're going to hold a little bit longer. Bringing those knees in. Opening up outer hips. Really send the breath down to those sit bones. Nice breath in, nice breath out. Good, last one here. Slowly let go. We'll bring the legs out to the side. And now left leg comes on top. Grab the back of the knees, top of the knees, down by your ankles. Ooh, and it might be very different. Slowly let go. Bring those legs out. Left leg comes back on top. Grab, hold, pulling in. Slowly let go, bring those legs out. Last time, left leg comes on top. We're just going to hold a little bit longer. Nice work. One more breath in here. Slowly letting go. Place those feet back down on the ground. Gently take whatever you've got out underneath. Lengthen through the legs. Shake those hips left and right and take a breath in. Exhale, let it go. Can you feel that breath pelvic floor connection, that opening up pelvic floor as the breath comes down? And again, if you can't feel it, it's okay. It takes consistency and practice and sometimes addressing other areas first. So let's take a nice big breath in here. Open mouth, exhale, let it all out. One more big breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it all go. When you're ready, slowly slide those legs back in. make your way onto your side. Come all the way up, find a comfortable seated position. Let's take a nice big cleansing breath in, lift those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Thanking your body for your practice. Remember that consistency is key. Continue to stay resilient throughout this challenge. Achille and I were, that's why we called it the Resilient Challenge. We faced so many things when we first got to Spain. Our bag was stolen. So much of our gear was in that bag to film this challenge, and we had our moment, and then we picked it back up and found different resources and new clothes and gear, and we're good to go. So we're here cheering you along the way, and we cannot wait to hear how the next 30 days go. If you are wanting more of this, you can go ahead and click the link up here and join the Resilient Back and Pelvic Challenge. Keep up the good work, and we cannot wait to see you in the next class.